My hand twitched. It was an involuntary spasm, a desperate urge to reach for my phone. I hadn't even received a notification. This was my normal, a constant, nagging need to check, scroll, refresh. My digital leash was always taut, tethering me to a world of fleeting updates and endless distractions. Focus was a distant memory. My attention span fractured. The digital deluge had eroded my ability to think deeply, to create freely. I was a slave to the ping, a prisoner of the notification. Each buzz promised novelty, a hit of dopamine, but the cost was steep. My peace, my focus, my very ability to be present in my own life. Something had to change. This wasn't living. It was merely existing in a state of perpetual distraction. An idea began to form, a radical notion in our hyper-connected world. What if I unplugged? Not entirely, of course, but enough to loosen the digital chains. And so an experiment was born, a digital detox, a reclaiming of my time and attention. I would limit my phone use, embrace boredom, and see what happened. Little did I know, this experiment would transform far more than just my relationship with my phone. The first few days were rough. The phantom vibrations were relentless. My mind, accustomed to constant stimulation, felt frustratingly empty. But then, something remarkable happened. The fog began to lift. My attention span, so long fragmented, started to knit itself back together. I found it easier to focus on tasks, to delve into projects without the constant urge to check my phone. Ideas, once stifled by the digital clamor, began to bubble to the surface. My mind, no longer bombarded with external noise, was finally free to wander, to make connections, to create. Simple pleasures took on a new vibrancy. Conversations became richer, more engaging. Walks in nature were no longer a backdrop for scrolling, but a chance to truly observe, to listen, to be present. The world, once filtered through the screen, was suddenly alive with detail. This wasn't just about reducing screen time, it was about reclaiming my life. It was about rediscovering the power of focus, the joy of deep work, the beauty of a quiet mind. Our brains are wired to seek novelty. Every notification, every like, every new email triggers a surge of dopamine, the feel-good hormone. This reward system, honed over millennia to ensure survival, is now being hijacked by our devices. We've become slaves to the dopamine loop, endlessly chasing the next hit of digital gratification. This constant stimulation comes at a cost. Our brains, overwhelmed by the digital deluge, struggle to distinguish between what's important and what's not. The result? A decline in our ability to focus, to think critically, to resist distractions. We're caught in a vicious cycle. The more we succumb to distractions, the more our brains crave the dopamine rush they provide, making it even harder to break free. Understanding the science behind distraction is the first step towards reclaiming our attention. We need to be mindful of the dopamine trap and make conscious choices to break free from its grip. To Section 4, in praise of boredom, rediscovering the lost art of stillness. Boredom in our hyper-stimulated world has become a dirty word. We rush to fill every quiet moment with digital noise, terrified of facing the emptiness within. But boredom, far from being an enemy, is a fertile ground for creativity, a catalyst for innovation. It's in the quiet moments when our minds are free to wander that connections are made, ideas are sparked, and solutions emerge. Einstein famously said, "The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." He understood the power of boredom, the importance of allowing our minds to wander unfettered. Yet we live in a culture that prizes busyness, that equates productivity with worth. We're constantly bombarded with messages urging us to do more, achieve more, be more. This relentless pursuit of doing leaves little room for being, for the quiet contemplation that is essential for true creativity and innovation. It's time to reclaim boredom, to embrace stillness, to rediscover the lost art of doing nothing. For it's in the quiet spaces, in the moments between the doing, that we truly connect with ourselves and the world around us. Section 5. Embracing the anti-hustle, a call to conscious connection. Let's be clear, this isn't about becoming Luddites, eschewing technology altogether. It's about finding a balance, about using technology consciously and intentionally rather than being ruled by it. It's about embracing the anti-hustle, creating space for stillness and reflection in our lives. I challenge you to embark on your own digital detox. Start small, designate screen-free zones in your home, carve out time for activities that don't involve a screen. Try a 2-week challenge of reducing your phone usage. You might be surprised by what you discover. As you break free from the shackles of constant distraction, you'll find yourself more present, more focused, more creative. You'll rediscover the joy of deep work, the power of your own thoughts, the beauty of a quiet mind. You'll reconnect with yourself, with others, and with the world around you in a way that feels authentic, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. The choice is yours. Remain tethered to the digital leash or break free and reclaim your life. I urge you to choose freedom.